This video is about the amazing effects of meditation, and if you want to know why there is a lobster on the thumbnail, well, stay with me and I'm going to tell you why very shortly. We all know that meditation is great to calm our nerves, to help us focus, but did you know that meditation also has been scientifically proven to alter our nervous systems, to increase grey matter in our brains, and even lengthen our telomeres. So telomeres are these nucleotides that protect our DNA. Meditation can also slow the brain aging process and even increase one's own life expectancy. That's pretty impressive, right? Imagine if there was a pill that could do this, not only claim to do this, but could achieve these kind of results, be empirically proven to be safe and effective. I mean, seriously, everyone would want one, right? So to date, meditation and the brain has focused on two major domains. So they are attention and the other is emotion. And what we've discovered is that the circuits in the brain that are important for the control of both attention and emotion can be modified, can be changed through the act or the practice of meditation. Ultimately, the goals of this kind of research would help us better understand suffering and how it can be alleviated. I mean, something I talk about often in other videos on this channel is suffering, human suffering. And indeed, it is the condition that keeps me in business. Most people don't know how to stop their own suffering, and they rely on medications and on doctors and on psychs like me. But there are better ways, I promise you. I once had the enormous honour of working with an incredible mentor by the name of Dr. Baljinder Sadra, and this amazing woman changed my life in a way that she probably is unaware. And I hope to one day thank her for the generous opportunities that she gave me and the lasting impression she had on me. She took me from a road of suffering and onto a path of enlightenment, and she probably doesn't even know she did this. I hope she sees this video and realizes how grateful I am for the privilege of her knowledge and her time. But anyway, Dr. Sadra was part of one of the most comprehensive and interesting studies on the effects of meditation to date. It was a multi-million-dollar project called the SHAMATHA Project. The SHAMATHA Project received this very generous grant, and they rented a beautiful retreat in the Rockies in Colorado in the States, and they set up a very elaborate and fascinating study. They assigned 60 people, so 30 into a control group and 30 into an active treatment group. And the active treatment group went to an intensive 3-month meditation retreat in the Rockies and received very intensive meditation training. Laboratory assessments of both groups were obtained before, during and after the retreat, and at various follow-up points as well. The participants that were part of the comprehensive training in meditative practices were learning how to promote relaxation, how to refine attention, develop compassion and kindness towards others, and lots of different variables were measured, including some biomarkers, some physiological variables. Participants were taught meditative practice and then had to go and practice on their own for roughly 6 hours a day, some as little as 4, others as much as 11 hours a day. That's pretty intensive. The results found many unsurprising findings, such as significant improvements in attention, in perceptual sensitivity, the ability to distinguish or differentiate between very minute differences in objects or shapes. They found improved inhibition. So these are some of the findings we'd expect to see. There were also robust improvements in psychological well-being over the course of the retreat, but also improvements that extended up to 5 months after the training. Emotional sensitivity and factors related to the participants' sense of compassion and kindness were also improved. But most interestingly, as I mentioned earlier, the study revealed that telomerase activity was significantly greater in the retreat participants versus the controls. And that telomerase activity was related to meditation-induced changes in well-being. So the job of the telomere is to stop the ends of the chromosome from fraying or sticking together each time the chromosome splits, much like the little plastic tips on the end of your shoelace. Telomeres also play an important role in the making of our DNA as it gets copied as the cells divide. So each time a cell divides, the telomeres get a little damaged and a little shorter. But an enzyme called telomerase can slow, it can stop, and even sometimes potentially reverse the telomere shortening process that's happening in our chromosomes. But the amount of telomerase in our bodies declines as we get older, as we age. Most human somatic cells don't even produce active telomerase. That's the problem. Telomerase replenishes telomeres, and we just don't produce enough of this as we age. Studies have shown that telomere length can actually predict your lifespan better than your chronological age. So wouldn't it be great if we all had an endless supply of this enzyme, telomerase? Well, we can increase it through the process and the practice of meditation. Now here comes the lobster bit. Lobsters produce telomerase for the entirety of their lives, which then acts to constantly fix the bits of their telomere that are lost when their cells divide. So the production of this enzyme is part of the reason why lobsters can live so much longer than humans can, and they don't need to meditate. Lobsters are not immortal, although there is a lot of misinformation about lobsters' immortality, but contrary to popular belief, they can live a long time and they're a lot closer to immortality than us humans, but they don't actually live forever. But their longevity is thanks to telomerase. So telomerase, it's really like the fountain of youth or immortality in some ways. And meditation increases telomerase and telomere length. And this plays a very critical, important role in illness and disease, including playing a role in conditions like dementia, where shorter telomeres have been linked with increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. When I learned about this, I was shocked. I was amazed. I was excited. It was like I had some magical spell, some magical formula where I could stay forever young. But then, just like everyone else, life happened. And life keeps happening. So we have to keep returning to this conscientious, purposeful decision to practice our meditation, to get back to roots, to the grounding exercises, to the earth, to the universe, to the healing energy of our planet, and to choose to meditate. You see, it's not always easy and it doesn't always come naturally, especially for anxious people, but they are the very people that need it more than anyone else. It took me a long time, years even, to get my head around this new way of living, and I still have a very long way to go. I am 50 next week, and while this information came a little late in life for me, it is information that does excite me and that I want to share with everyone here and with my private patients so that you too can have access to this wonder elixir that is meditation and natural healing. There's also a lot of other brain research in this area that's found many other supporting findings, including meditation producing highly synchronized gamma oscillations with large amplitude for extended periods of time in the brain. Now, this is probably another area, it's a bit more complex for another time, and I can speak to that later, but essentially what it means is this. People who learn meditation and practice for just a few hours a week or practice repeatedly will have distinctly improved brainwave patterns than before they started meditating. So this tells us that we can tangibly and objectively change the properties of our brain in about 24 hours actually, and that is incredible. So if you are interested in this, check out my other videos where I use sound frequency to invoke similar brain state changes. And what you might like to do is add the sound frequencies to your meditation routines for ultimate effect. Your body and your brain will thank you. That's all for now. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other and have a very happy and peaceful day. Bye-bye.